on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no masquerading as a man with a reason. My charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. On the stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. No!
was Van Halen, and before that was Kansas. The Van Halen song "Jump." In Kansas, "Carry On, My Wayward Son." Hello, my friends, and good morning. This is the Chaos Engine News. We're going to look at some crazy stuff. We're going to look at some funny stuff. We're going to look at stuff that shouldn't be, things that shouldn't be, things that shouldn't be. Please don't bark at the leaves. That's all I'm asking. This is Kamala Harris's kryptonite. Hugh. So there's some more about Kamala. I don't know. Um, Tim Walz is a national security risk. We also got some massive protest erupts in Israel after Hamas hostage executed. See, yeah, Hamas just executed a terrorist, I guess. Not a terrorist, a hostage, which is very interesting. And huge protests erupt in Israel. Donald Trump looks back at his time on The Apprentice. It's a good show. I don't know if you watch. You're fired. You're out of here. You're gone. You're toast, bitches. Yeah, and Kamala Harris is flip flopping on a lot of her stuff that she wanted before when she was actually running for president in the, I think it was, 2020 election. Um, she said a lot of stuff about she wants to stop fracking, she wants to stop drilling for oil, she wants to stop. Um, she wants to have the Green Deal go through. Um, yeah. So here, let's check out this. Okay, this is Fox News again, and we're going to also look at the CNN here. Each side is kind of biased about the right and biased about the left. Let's see what
Let's
this
bring in
says.
Kristi Noem, who knows about Walz from her time in Congress and recently and currently as governor of South Dakota, which neighbors Minnesota, where Walz is governor. Governor Noem, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. So again, you served, and I did too, with Tim Walz in Congress, but you've had the privilege of being a neighboring governor of Tim Walz. Tell us what you've seen. What kind of leader is he?
Well, he's a bully, and he pushes mandates down on his people. In fact, we've seen a mass exodus of people
Governor,
out of
good to see you. Thanks
Minnesota
for being with us.
that have
So
sought
again,
refuge in South
you
Dakota,
served,
and
I
they've
did too,
come here to get away from what he's done to their families, how he's devastated their businesses by shutting them down, raising their taxes, increasing their costs, that they can no longer cash flow and provide for their families. So listen, this is a completely different Tim Walz than what we served with, Sean. When I served with him in Congress, he cared about people having their Second Amendment rights. He cared about giving people flexibility and freedom. We sponsored legislation together. He was from a more conservative district of Minnesota, but he completely changed when he became governor. We think we saw the real Tim Walz that he had been hiding for several years. He's got ties to companies in China. You don't go to China 30 times to be a tourist, to look at the.
So does Biden. No, that was Ukraine. He's got ties to Ukraine. I'm trying to think who had ties to China. Was it Trump? No, it wasn't Trump. Maybe it was Biden and Biden Jr. They might, yeah. I don't know. I have to check that out.
Sites. You go there because you've got an affiliation with their government. You go there and you take students there to learn from them. If you think communism is the way to better protect people, which is what he truly does believe, and he's got ties to.
That's scary. That's scary. I did not know that he felt that way. I did not know that. Gives me a whole different outlook on him now.
Companies in China, such as the Beijing Genomic Institute, that he's funneled money to. And that company has ties to communist and CCP leaders. So, he truly is someone that wants to undermine the United States of America. We cannot trust him by putting him in the White House.
I think he's after the almighty dollar, most likely. Um, and China does sometimes tend to pay foreign adversaries money, but who knows how much, if he got any from the Chinese, the the Chinese government or any of its businesses. I have no idea. It might be something to look into. But I guess he has ties to China, um, which is kind of.
Well, you're right. He undermined the freedom of his constituents in Minnesota. But you're right. We served with him in Congress. He was
Yeah, and I guess he is yeah, he's the governor of Minnesota, which is see, I haven't really looked into him. I didn't even know he was a senator or the governor of Minnesota. I mean, I haven't really looked at politics until now, because I watched a lot of crazy videos of lefties and righties losing it over each other, and one of my favorite shows is Lefties Losing It by Sky News Australia, which is hilarious. Rita, she's great. She's hilarious.
a moderate guy, right? Because he had a very Republican-leaning congressional district. But when he was unleashed as a governor, we saw the true Tim Walz come out, and it was crazy. You mentioned what's going on with the CCP. I want to talk about that. So he taught in China from '89 to '90.
Oh,
he visited
taught
the country 30
in
times.
China.
He got married.
He taught in China. See, I don't know much about Tim. I only heard what people say, so I need to look into his background. So he was a teacher in China.
Married on the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre. He honeymooned in China, and to your point, he promoted Chinese communism as a teacher to his American students. So I think what this does, Governor, is it begs
He
the question:
speaks Mandarin.
Is Tim Walz a national security risk?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely. I'm 100% convinced he's a national security risk. This man wants America to grow up and be more like China, which is the exact opposite of what our leaders should be doing. I have spent all of my time fighting China, and for 30 years I've been working in policy on protecting our food supply, and we've seen China not only manipulate our currency, steal our IP, treat us unfairly in trade agreements. They've also spied on us. They've come in and they're taking and buying our land. I have banned them purchasing land and doing state contracts in South Dakota. The rest of the country needs to realize and wake up that we do not want a leader like Tim Walz and Kamala Harris in the White House because of how they would undermine our national security. It's a big concern, and I hope we start talking about it a little bit more, that you have to have people in the White House that truly want to protect us, protect our republic, and fight socialism, fight Marxism, fight communism. That's not Tim Walz.
You know, Tim Walz's leadership has been so bad. You have the western portion of Minnesota that's asking to actually cede from Minnesota and join your state of South Dakota. Are you going to accept them if that potentially happens? You going to take part of Minnesota,
Sure.
Christy?
Yeah, we'll take anybody that wants to be more free. But it's amazing if you look at the map of Minnesota, how little support he does have. The support he does have is in his bigger cities, but the vast majority of the land mass of Minnesota does not like his leadership, has left his leadership. We've had tens of thousands of people that have come from Minnesota and come to South Dakota because they find that he doesn't share their values, and he's crippled them and their economy, and they just can't stand it anymore and want to find somewhere else where they can raise their families and pursue the American dream.
Well, I'm on the eastern border in Wisconsin, and I have the same thing. We have people leaving Minnesota and coming to Wisconsin. They want more freedom. And we love their money, but it's crowding our rural areas. I want to quickly go to this, Governor, because new polling's come out since the DNC, and we see the races are very tight. We have Harris winning in Michigan, Georgia, and Nevada. Trump up in North Carolina and Wisconsin, right? So the race has tightened from what it was between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I guess my theory here is that this is a DNC post-convention bump. Want to get your take on the polling. Where is this race going? Should Donald Trump be concerned?
No, I think President Trump is doing fantastic. He's out there working hard and talking to people about how their lives could be different if he was back in the White House. So yeah, the race is tight, but also the media has been helping Kamala have a great couple of last weeks. But I think the truth is coming out after Labor Day. More Americans are paying attention, and they're paying attention to their pocketbooks, and they're paying attention to what gas prices are and how difficult it is to buy the supplies that they need for their kids to go back to school, and making hard decisions. So this is where President Trump shines, because their lives were better off when he was president of the United States. And I'll be in Michigan and Wisconsin, Montana, down in Arizona as well, I think, as more people get out there and tell the story of what his leadership means to this country, what it means to families, what it means to women and wives and grandmas as we're running our businesses and our families. raising them to be strong Americans. President Trump is the one who gives us the opportunity to do that. I tell the story all the time about when he was in the White House, he let me do my job. He let me be governor, make the best decisions for South Dakota. I've done nothing since Joe Biden has been in the White House except be on defense, trying to protect our freedoms and our liberties. So there's consequences to leadership, and it matters who's in the White House. And we need President Trump back there as soon as possible.
Well, the Duffy family went to South Dakota during COVID, and it truly was a free state. We were grateful for that. And I think you're right. As we come through the summer, when people are a little bit checked out, as they're doing some more vacations and kids are off from school, and we come back in September, that's when the American voter starts to pay attention. And Kamala Harris doesn't have policies to fix the economy, doesn't have policies to fix the border. She created the border crisis. So we'll continue to watch. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, thank you for being with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in. I'm grateful to have you here. And we got Vince Everett Ellison in the building today talking about Trump and the black community. So this should be a doozy. Let's get it popping.
About 30% of the black vote has left the Democratic Party over the last year. It started with our George Floyd interview, and then black people started paying attention, and now it's leaving. And Joe Biden's in a panic. The Democrats are in a panic. This is catastrophic for them. No Republican has gotten over 20% of the black vote. Nobody's gotten over 15%.
Nope.
If Trump gets 20% of the black vote, the Democratic Party is done forever.
Do you think he has a chance?
Oh, I think he's got a chance to get more. My next podcast coming out this Tuesday is going to be Donald Trump, the true first black president. Because the Democrats have finally done to Donald Trump what they've been doing to black men for 200 years. What they did to Donald Trump in New York is the Rodney King tape of the Democratic Party coming after white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Most coups start at the top. They don't start at the bottom. We very seldom see a Mao Zedong coup where they fight for 20 years. And,
right.
Usually they go and shoot in the head. They shoot and then take over like they're doing in Africa right now, right? Yeah. They go to the top and just kill him and they're in charge. That's what they try to do to Trump. Trump is not just the leader of the Republican Party. Trump is the leader of white Anglo-Saxon Protestants who these people despise and hate. They have an enemy that they're trying to kill. And it is the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. It's not that they dislike him. The evangelicals, they despise them. If you put that group and you talk about what they agree with and about what the Democrats and liberals agree with, polar opposites. Direct polar opposites. And they know that Trump is the leader of that crew, that crowd. That crowd is his basis. That crowd is where he gets all of his power. And they know that if they take out Trump, who's going to take his place? Who can walk up right now if Donald Trump is destroyed in the Republican Party and have that crowd come behind him like they've come behind Trump? I don't think the person exists. And they know that. And so this was how the Democratic Party does a coup. They don't use bullets. They use the justice system. I mean, look at who they locked. They locked up Manafort. They locked up, they're trying to get Bannon now. They locked up his the trade guy with China. I forget his name.
Peter Navarro.
Yeah, Peter Navarro. They got Navarro locked up now. Now they got Trump. I mean, the people don't see what this is. What's the last time you saw somebody go to jail for contempt of Congress?
Never.
How come Eric Holder's not in jail?
Or Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Or Hillary.
Bannon's going to jail.
I know.
Navarro's in jail. Trump's the first person in the history of the country they ever tried for what he tried him for.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they coming. And what they're doing is shooting across the bow to see how we respond to it. Because if we don't respond to it, they're going to keep doing it. And right now, the people are responding in a way that they didn't expect. They see it. What's the old poem? They came for the labor unionists.
I said nothing. Yeah,
I said nothing, and they came for the soldiers. I said something, and they came for the Jews, and I said nothing, and they came for me. There's no one to speak for me, and that's why you and I speaking out and telling people whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant at this time. They're coming, and they're not going to stop, because evil people and crazy people don't know how to stop.
No, they don't.
They don't stop until everybody's dead.
People that have no morals, no malice, tend to go crazy and go after people more than regular Joes, regular Karens.
If history tells us nothing, it tells us that. Adolf Hitler went until Germany was destroyed. Mussolini did the same. The crazy jokers in Japan did the same. They kept going until the nation was destroyed. These people have taken abortion from Roe v. Wade all the way to 9-month abortion. Now they're in perinatal abortion. You hear about that in California?
Yeah.
No.
They're voting for an abortion bill that will kill a child 28 days after it's born.
Which is idiotic.
Yes, it's in the House in California.
Yep.
Perinatal, after birth. Why? Because our argument was solid with them. Well, when does life begin? We started kicking their butts. It begins at conception. Okay. Well, yeah. We can kill them in 3 months. Well, what about 1? Well, what about 5 months? Well, okay. Then, well, okay, you're right. We'll take it to the 9th month then. Well, if you can take it to the 9th month, why not after? You're giving us permission to do that. You've given us permission to commit murder.
Pretty much, yeah. It is pretty much committing murder. Completely committing murder. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Logical, isn't it?
It's not.
Why not?
It's not.
Our logic is winning.
Every aspect of that makes me want Trump to win. I want Trump to win. I want to become the president of the United States again. I had a better life experience when he was president. Oh, I heard all kinds of threats from people I knew that he was going to take my Medicare away. He was going to take this away. He was going to take that away from me. I wasn't going to get food money from the government, which I do. I get food stamps, and I go to the store and I use it. That is just crazy to me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That they would frickin', after the baby's born, you can kill the baby.
Out, Tucker. And they're telling us, yes, you're right. We can kill them anytime we want to. The same thing with our logic when it came down to homosexuality and all this kind of stuff. They talk about, oh, no, people are born gay, but then they did the Human Genome Project, right? Didn't find no gay gene. They did the twin study. And when one twin was gay, the other twin was gay only about maybe 20-25% of the time. So it couldn't be in the DNA. See what I'm talking about? So they start saying, now, what? No, it is a choice. You're right. But we've gotten the law passed now. They don't try to argue that any longer. It's irrelevant. The law's passed. And right now, since states can now do whatever they want to do when it comes down to abortion, hell, I guess it's just a matter of legalisms, isn't it? Like Dred Scott. Dred Scott is not a man that a white man has no rights and a white man need to adhere to. So you've told us with abortion, and this has always been amazing to me. I remember when Scott Peterson killed his wife, remember Lacey?
Yes.
You remember he's charged with 2 murders, isn't he?
Yes.
How is that when the baby wasn't born yet? How is that?
Because everybody knows that.
Everybody knows.
It's a person, of course.
It's life.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Life.
But we have said
living.
that the mother has a right to kill that child whenever she chooses.
See, that's wrong. That is wrong.
So if it's a person here, it's a person. Oh, it's a person here. They know it. We've allowed that legalism.
Legally,
We've
you
allowed it
can
to stay.
kill a child
And now
whenever you want,
we don't
which
have to deal
is
with it.
stupid.
So, I mean, it's human sacrifice. I think it's pretty obvious.
course it
This,
is.
this
Yeah, it
is a
is.
religious right.
Yes.
But at some point, our people are punished
Yes.
for killing, for example, for sin. Our nation's punished.
I think they're by God. And I don't
they will.
think it's
The
God
nations
punishing them. I
are
think
punished.
that what happens is he takes his
punishable by
hands
God.
off and you become a virtuous people
Yep.
and you start killing yourself.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
You eat yourself. You'll start to eat
The commandment that
your
says, honor
country
thy
will
father
eat
and thy
itself.
mother, so your days will be long on this earth. And people always think that means that God would punish you for not obeying your father and your mother. No, it is a harbinger. It tells you the type of person that you are. And my dad would say, if you do not honor and obey me, you won't honor and obey the police. You'll go outside this house and you'll disrespect the wrong person. And that wrong person is going to bust a cap in your head. So when you are disrespectful to your parents, it tells the type of spirit you have in you, an arrogant, prideful, disrespectful spirit.
That's right.
And that's going to get you in trouble outside of the house. And the people outside of the house don't love you like your mom and daddy do. And somebody's going to either lock you up or put you in jail or kill you. That means you have no respect for yourself. So you're going to be doing dope and drugs. You're going to be out there fighting and acting a fool. So it's a harbinger. So when people kill their own children, you tell them that you can kill them inside the womb. Well, why do you? Well, that means you can kill them outside of it too. So why do you think the murder rates are high in the black community? There's no virtue in life. You told them you can kill them inside the womb. So why can't I kill them outside the womb? So now we're killing one another. And now the nation is dying. And when you don't have any respect for life, you have no respect for anything else, because that's the most important thing. Our Bible tells us, I lay before you blessings and curses, life and death. Choose life so that you and your children shall live. Choose life.
Yeah.
We're choosing death. Democratic Party is a death cult.
As a mostly white Christian man, I completely endorse this message. He gets it. From everything Vince said about Trump to anti-whiteism to the mass murders of innocent baby blessings in and outside the womb, folks need to get back to respecting all life. And God bless that man for boldly speaking the truth. And God bless Tucker for allowing his guests to be heard, for just listening, because you can't gain insight and wisdom when your mouth is running. And that's why I saved my 2 cents or 1 cent, some of y'all might say, until this point, because I don't know it all. I'm constantly striving to learn from men that are far more intelligent than me so I can help to go shine a light in this very dark world. But one thing I do know is that what's going on in America is an all-out spiritual battle of good versus evil, where a target has been painted on us Christians' backs. And it's not white versus black like the media wants us to believe. No. That was a black man that we just saw, and he is on the side of good. It's way deeper than what you see on the exterior. This is between the God-fearing and the God-hating. There's too many people out here completely resenting the Almighty, and they can't stand the thought of being held up to God's righteous standard. They want to live carefree in pride without ever having to set foot on the solid foundation of truth. They want to live in my truth and their truth, and I'm a they, a them, a thus, identify as whatever you want under the sun. But that's not the way this thing goes. These people don't want to ever have to face accountability for their sin like we have to acknowledge every single day. And I know I'm all sorts of messed up, and I'm flawed, which is why I need the ultimate love of God through Jesus Christ. I know what it's like to live in darkness on the left, thinking that I'm my own God and thinking that I can do whatever I want and just live out here willy-nilly, butt naked, basically, carefree, and something's not going to come out of that in a negative light, and it's never going to work. Us human beings, we need guidance because we're selfish creatures that will ruin ourselves and everything around us if we're left to our own devices. Right now, Democrats and some so-called Republicans are being led by Satan. They're being deceived because he's been a no-good liar and thief since the beginning, whose only plans for you are to kill, steal, and destroy. You hear what I'm saying? Ultimately, death, if you don't repent and turn to Jesus Christ. And I know this is turning into a sermon rant like I tend to do, but seriously, y'all, this is way bigger than Trump. Yes, I'm voting for Don later this year, and I think you should too if you're an American American-loving patriot. Biden says you ain't black if you don't vote for him. I say you ain't American if you don't vote for Trump. But at the same time, I'm calling myself out because I got to remember not to overhype any of my fellow human beings that have sinned and bleed the same color red just like I do. We shouldn't idolize anyone because we already have a perfect teacher whose name is Jesus Christ. That's the answer to all of our problems. He's great from everlasting to everlasting and always will be. Amen. So if you're saved and truly love your neighbor as yourself, then even when you're like me and you don't always do the best job seasoning your speech with salt, and even when we may fail at being Christ-like in every situation, we can still succeed by always bringing Christ into every situation so that he can work it out for the good. So that's what I'm going to continue to work on and pray about moving forward. I'm going to follow the words of wisdom by the Apostle Paul when he put it this way in Philippians 3, verse 17 through 21. Brothers, join in imitating me and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. For many of whom I have often told you and now tell you even with tears, walk as enemies of the cross of Christ. Their end is destruction. Their God is their belly, and they glory in their shame, with minds set on earthly things. But our citizenship is in heaven, and from it we await a Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our lowly body to be like his glorious body by the power that enables him even to subject all things to himself. Follow that advice, heed those words, make a change. Make the right change. The best decision of your life will be humbling yourself, dying to your old ways, and picking up your cross and following him. I'm telling you from personal experience. I'm not just telling you as somebody who grew up in the church, has never sinned. No, I've sinned a whole bunch. I grew up very lost, very sad, depressing times, thinking that I had it all figured out. You never have it figured out until you have Jesus in your corner. That's the truth to the end of time. But what do y'all think about all this? Let me know down below in the comments section, and let's keep the conversation rolling. Don't forget to hit that like button.
Okay, so he's... Oh, I'd completely... He's pretty awesome, too. Some people believe that he did allow it to happen. Donald Trump about the assassination attempt. They're still saying that I don't know if he planned it, but he knew the shooter was up there before he shot. So they did have eyes on him, even though everybody says they didn't have eyes on him. And there might have been another shooter on top of the water tower, but who knows? Who knows? All right, so we're going to watch some Lefty Losing It fun.
Now to MSNBC, whose Lefty Losing It hosts find new and inventive ways to embarrass themselves. They really are a gift to this segment. Here is Ari Melba accusing Donald Trump's campaign advisor, Corey Lewandowski, of defamation, threatening legal action. Now, Ari claims he never said the bandage on Trump's ear was a spectacle, you know, the bandage on the ear that was hit with a bullet in an assassination attempt. Ari claims he never said it was a spectacle, except he kind of did. He starts off here claiming Fox News ran a false piece, but they didn't.
Fox News, which has been caught in defamation, ran a false piece, falsely stating that I said something else that I didn't say. So I stand on that. I stand on the New York Times
quote. So you didn't say this bandage was a proper spectacle from a candidate who's obsessed with spectacles.
That's fair. A placard for delegates to fill in, an image for political mobilization, a spectacle for this candidate who we know is, by his own admission, obsessed with assorted spectacles. These aren't, Mr. Lewandowski, I did not say that. That is a false quote.
Right here. It's clear.
What you have is a false quote. What you have is a false quote. And if you, I'm putting you on notice, if you continue to repeat falsely that I said that, you will be potentially in a defamation situation because I didn't say that. But I understand that you're working off the internet, which is a lot of false information.
This is what it says
I wish you luck with that. And Corey Lewandowski, we gave you time.
So you
I appreciate you coming on.
For that.
Thank you for joining me.
Dude,
wow,
it's
see,
all on
funny.
tape. Fancy threatening like defamation action as on live TV when you said it. Oh, dear me. I know MSNBC viewers are low information nincompoops, but the rest of us have eyes and ears. Now, President Joe Biden managed to tear himself away from the beach for a few hours, and he was asked about the media-created scandal about Donald Trump posing for photos and filming with Gold Star families at Arlington National Cemetery. This was his barely coherent response.
What do you think of President Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery with the visit to the fallen soldiers?
I don't want to answer things. I may tell you what I think.
Did you watch your vice president's interview on CNN?
He said, "I don't want to answer because I might tell you what I think." That's what he said. The nerve of this man. This is the puppet president who has abandoned these Gold Star families who lost their loved ones in his botched withdrawal of Afghanistan. Trump has been there for them since the start. He's the only one who showed up at Arlington National Cemetery to mark the 3-year anniversary of their deaths. And that saw a deranged, orchestrated media attack suggesting he is breaking protocol and politicising Arlington. A media attack involving all the usual suspects from New York Times to Washington Post and, of course, MSNBC. This is as dirty and rotten as lefties losing it gets, folks.
The death of some American service members in Afghanistan as part of the evacuation effort there 3 years ago. They're trying to make that a major problem for the Biden-Harris administration in the context of this campaign. But I know a lot of military veterans were very uncomfortable with the idea that Trump was there at all, and that, you know, he even at one point posed for a photograph with family members with a big smile and thumbs up on their face. Now, we should know some of the family members were doing the same, but that's their right. Donald Trump, it's seemingly very strange that he would do the same.
And I looked at the same pictures that you're alluding to now and describing at Arlington, taken with the former president, and the thought rolled immediately through my mind: is nothing
I'm sorry,
sacred.
guys, but these guys are
Now, it
both
wasn't
idiots.
long before Kamala Harris joined these attacks. She joined the ugly pile-on that, in effect, was also attacking the Gold Star families. The media and the Democrats don't care who they hurt in their desperate attempts to smear Trump. And that saw these Gold Star families, one after another, come out to defend President Trump, calling out the fake news, the deliberate disinformation that the media is engaging in,
lie, guys.
and calling out
All of it
Kamala
was a
Harris
lie.
too for her lies.
I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris. Why did we want Trump there?
Because
it wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call.
That was Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz. And as I said, he was one of many Gold Star families who took Kamala Harris and the media propagandists to task for the ugly narrative they are running.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. Because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies.
Yeah,
Just like your
truth.
statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
That was Jocelyn Schmitz, Gold Star mother of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, who died in that botched withdrawal. These kids, their children, died because of the botched operation under the Biden-Harris administration. Then they were ignored And now they're being attacked because Trump is by their side. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. You don't hate the leftist media enough.
I don't hate the leftist media.
Hamas reminding the world just how brutal an enemy the Jewish state faces. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Labor Day, and welcome to Fox.
No.
Now to...
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening.
Here's CNN getting owned.
So Tulsi Gabbard was interviewed by Dana Bash on CNN. For some reason, Dana's the only one doing Republican interviews lately, and she speaks on the made-up controversy of the Arlington Cemetery. But the question is, why would CNN have Tulsi Gabbard on if they're trying to elect Kamala Harris? They know she's a good speaker. They know she's the sole reason as to why Kamala Harris dropped out of the 2020 election when she destroyed Kamala on stage.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to get more credibility as journalists. Or maybe accepting the fact that Donald Trump will win in November because of how atrocious the CNN interview was. I'm going to choose the credibility one because I think Dana is trying to gain her respect back, or what little she had, because a highly edited interview of a presidential candidate makes you and your network look terrible. But anyways, let's take a listen.
And it is a remarkable situation in that you are a Democrat who debated her in a Democratic primary, and now you are helping the Republican nominee to debate her. And on that, I remember in 2020, you attacked Harris for being too aggressive as a prosecutor, which is the opposite from what Donald Trump is saying about her as weak on crime. So which is it?
What I pointed out in that debate stage in the 2020 campaign was her hypocrisy. It was how she was saying one thing and doing another, how she was prosecuting people for smoking marijuana and laughing about it when she was asked about it on a radio show. And I think this goes to the heart of many of these different issues that we're seeing now that Kamala Harris is trying to hide from voters, is how she says her position is one thing, but her actions and her record show exactly the opposite. And you can point to that on issues related to the economy, issues related to freedom of speech. She says she stands for freedom of speech, and yet, as we've seen time and time again, her and Joe Biden have taken actions both directly and indirectly to censor free speech. Most recently, I can point to my own experience of this, of how the Harris-Biden administration have added me to a secret domestic terror watch list.
I could not believe that she was put on a terrorist watch list. That meant that they had to have like 5 officers, like 3 marshals, 2 agents. I think, but I know that they had to have people on the plane. Sky marshals had to be on the plane if she was flying on it.
The very day after Kamala Harris was endorsed by Joe Biden, and I was on TV and warning the American people about what I saw as the dangers of a Kamala Harris presidency, taking action that was clearly political retaliation. They've done this to a lot of different people, which points to how dangerous it is to have people in power so willing to abuse that power to go after political opponents.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the secret terror watch list. We're definitely going to follow up on that, but I do want to move on.
This was actually something that'd be nearly front headlines, so it was obviously strategic for CNN not to cover an actual news story, but it was almost unavoidable to miss the story. But basically, Tulsi Gabbard was put on the terror watch list the day after she went on Fox News and criticized the Biden administration. She has to endure excessive hours of long security screenings at airports and have multiple federal air marshals on their flight. And quote, "This is the real pain and stress that's been caused both to me and my family by this whole situation. Day and night, wondering if and what government institution and agency is monitoring my phone calls, surveilling me in my movement and my travels, knowing that they may be looking for some kind of excuse or derogatory action to come after me. How is this not a political attack? She's a lieutenant colonel in the Army and a former Hawaii congresswoman, and she deserves to be on a terror watch list? This is disgusting."
To what is happening with regard to controversy after the former president visited Arlington National Cemetery this week. His campaign took photos and video of him in Section 60, where veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan are buried, used it in a campaign video The Army also says that Trump staffers abruptly pushed aside a cemetery official who tried to enforce Arlington's rules prohibiting political activities. I know you were with Trump at least earlier in that day at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Did you witness the altercation at Section 60?
Oh, she saw everything, and it's bullshit. But
I was there from the beginning with the laying of the wreaths, with the family members, the Gold Star family members, and some of the survivors of that terrorist attack in that disastrous
and they
withdrawal
wanted
from
Trump
Afghanistan. I was with them at Section 60, and what I saw was a very grave and somber remembrance and honoring of those lives that were lost. And I saw President Trump spending time at the invitation of these Gold Star families with them. He was there for a few hours. I did not see or hear about any kind of altercation until something came out in the news later on. The families were there grieving alongside President Trump, and it was a very special moment to really remember their names, remember their memories, and understand the true cost of war and the consequences of the decisions that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden made in the execution of that withdrawal.
Yeah,
they
and
botched it bad.
Very clear that the former president was invited in his personal capacity, as you said, by a family of one of the service members who was killed about 2 years ago during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago to the day on August 26th.
Yes, 3 years ago.
The only controversy surrounding Arlington is the controversy of Biden and Harris not honoring the soldiers they got killed. But of course the media has to make everything political and negative about whatever Trump does. I think they're just jealous that he was the one invited. And he is the president respected by Gold Star families because they know in their heart, if Trump was elected during this moment, none of the service members would have died. It's really sad to think about, actually.
The question is about the federal law and Arlington's rules that prohibit partisan or political activities at national cemeteries. And the
I wasn't political,
military and also other members of other families who are buried right near there are upset about the campaign filming it and posting the video online. Do you believe that was appropriate?
You know, I checked with the campaign on this question, and they have exchanges with the officials at Arlington Cemetery. They were approved to bring a camera there to document this historic and momentous day that should not be forgotten by any American. And to have a former president there join these Gold Star families, I know President Trump wanted to share that with others, especially given the fact that President Biden and Harris, I heard, were invited by some of these family members.
They were.
They not only didn't come, they didn't even respond to that invitation. And now to have Kamala Harris put this statement out yesterday saying that she stands with these families, she stands with the military and with veterans, you only have to look at the response that came from the Gold Star families of these 13 service members of how offended they were by that statement, given she has not made any effort, not on that third anniversary or any other time, to call them directly to offer her condolences and even apologies for their decisions that led to the loss of their loved one.
Instead of making up triggered staff members, how about we ask the opinion of the Gold Star families? Because if they felt disrespected, then absolutely Trump should apologize. But none of that happened because it was obvious that it was encouraged. They would make controversy out of him breathing.
Do you think that the campaign will release that communication that you're talking about? Because the Army is saying very clearly that they broke the rules because it was clearly put out online, pictures, video, meant as a part of his campaign.
I thought they already had. I was informed that they had come to an agreement. They could bring a camera there. And as far as I know, and the public statements I've seen from the Army, is that the matter is closed.
I think the matter is closed about the altercation.
Oh my God, shut up. Why couldn't Dana have been like this in the Kamala interview? Literally nobody cares about this story.
Alleged altercation.
I mean, she's pushing her,
but I'm not sure
poking
it's
at her.
with the idea that they seem to have broken the rules and perhaps even federal law by putting out the campaign video. I want to ask you about...
Are you sure it's a campaign
like to say
video?
One last thing on this, because I think it's important, and I've seen a lot of the headlines and the stories. and the concerns that people are raising about this. But to me, as a soldier and as someone who has been deployed to different war zones in the world, and I have friends who are buried there at Section 60, what is more outrageous to me is that there wasn't universal coverage of the momentous day of the 3rd anniversary of the loss of these 13 Gold Star families, and the outrage that they feel that their loved ones are not getting the kind of coverage and memory that their great sacrifice deserves. That
it was
is
all
what
caused by
everyone
Hillary
should be
Clinton too,
outraged
by the way.
about.
Well, yeah, we have covered the horrible, horrible events 3 years ago, and have done so several times, over and over again. So I appreciate you.
Why didn't you do it this time? Why? Because Trump was there?
Thank you, Tulsi. Yep, that backed her up into a corner. I want to hear outrage on why these service members had to die for our country, why we left billions of dollars of equipment, why we pulled out in a way that wasn't safe for our soldiers, why we left Americans there, why there was no accountability. But no, let's talk about broken video recording rules, even though we have no evidence of that.
Before you go, you said in an interview this week that you were interested in serving in a Trump administration, potentially as Secretary of State, maybe Secretary of Defense. Have you discussed that with Donald Trump directly?
I wouldn't say anything.
No, I haven't. You know, it's important for us right now to point out the difference between Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump, what kind of president and commander-in-chief they would be. And really the leading concern that I have is about this, about the contrast between their positions and their records, and the fact that as we sit here today, President Biden and Kamala Harris have us embroiled in wars in 3 different regions of the world, have us closer to the brink of World War III and nuclear war now than ever before, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. And this should be of concern not just to Republicans and Democrats, it should be a concern to all Americans, because what's at question is our ability to have a future and to live in a free society where we can be peaceful and prosperous. It's as personal for me as it should be personal for all Americans, because it is our future that's on the line here in this decision that we as voters have to make about who we want our commander-in-chief to be.
It's the truth.
First, before we go to Tulsi, here is a clip from a 2019 Democratic presidential debate that went viral.
I mean, yeah, Ghost Hunters is fake, by the way. Taps were caught faking it.
Curious about what they aren't telling you? We're diving into the hard truths about these misguided claims. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or you'll stay in the dark and possibly become a Wokey.
So do you personally believe undocumented immigrants should have access, should have taxpayer-free tuition?
Absolutely. I think undocumented immigrants have a negative connotation attached toward them, and they come to this country seeking a better life.
I actually do agree, because I believe everybody should have an equal opportunity to get the right education. These kind of resources shouldn't be limited to people that are documented.
If it is a human right, then we naturally have to give it to the immigrants, right? If you do give education to the undocumented immigrants, you're going to increase the quality of the labor force. So that's going to.
What we're doing today is we are trying to raise money for tuition for undocumented immigrants since they don't have access. So would you be willing to give some money for that tuition?
If I did, I definitely would. But your girl is broke, so yeah.
I'll have to pass on that one.
But isn't it? But it's a human right, though.
It is a human right, absolutely.
Do you think you're violating their human rights then by not chipping in, or?
Emotional appeal. Well, I mean, no, it's a human right for me to say no, right?
And since they can't get it through taxpayer dollars, would you guys be willing to contribute?
I would love to, but I don't have cash on me right now.
Cash on me either right now, but I would love to.
Do you guys have Venmo?
I don't. I don't have money on me, though.
Oh, you don't have money on you? What about Venmo? I mean, come on, because education is a human right. You don't have Venmo?
No.
Because you seemed interested, would you be willing to give money?
Cash. I have no cash on me at all.
Venmo?
Sure, yeah, I'll give a Venmo.
Yeah. Right now, I have my Bulls card in my pocket. I haven't eaten in 2 days because I have no money. It shouldn't be my duty to raise the money. Right. To tell you that.
These advocates demand free education for illegal immigrants, but clutch their wallets tight when it's their turn. Isn't that a bit hypocritical?
What people don't understand is when you have the mindset that you and I have, we don't care. I don't care. People can make fun of you. That's not me, like, kind of confronting you right now. It's not going to hurt your feelings. But your family, they could be embarrassed by this. Do you not feel any sort of, guilt to them? Not for you, because I see you're like me. We don't have a lot of shame. But your loved ones, they know it's a bit. I mean, why are you going to do this to them for so long, Josh?
Yeah, I'm just living my authentic truth. And
come on, Josh! Show me too. Quit playing with me. I'm the pimp on a blimp, Josh. I can do this bit. I can do this dance with you. We can joke around, and I'll be nice, and I'll say all the transgender shit. But it's a work. This is a gimmick. This is like professional wrestling. Sorry, I'm not trying to yell at a beautiful lady like you, but. What are we gonna do, Josh? What are we gonna do, dude? How long are you gonna freaking... I mean, do you have women's underwear on right now?
Well, I would never answer that.
Well, that means that you have some sort of weird sexual fetish. If you do, I mean, this is a weird sexual thing when you do it this long. When you do it for content, some of the greatest comedians in the world have put on a dress. I'm not even hating on you for that. But how long can this bit go? You got a lot of...
Alex challenges a person on their gender identity with some tough questions. Is everyone on the same page here?
Say that you're fine with people like criminals and such coming into the country?
Well, obviously not, but I mean, obviously if people are coming illegally, you can't screen that, but I guess...
So would you want to stop criminals coming into the country?
Well, yeah, but...
You think a border wall would help stop them?
Yeah, but I don't think I would want a border wall, so I think there are other ways, and I'm still all right with people coming illegally, really.
Wokies resist a border wall, but also reject unchecked entry. Can we find a balance, or is it all or nothing?
Black people were shot unarmed in LA in 2019. Do you know that number?
Yeah, like 100, 150.
Maybe the hundreds, but like 500 to 1,000. Like,
it's unarmed. Well, it's only been one.
Damn.
Unarmed black person shot in LA has been one. I don't think they had any this year.
One unarmed black man. Bullshit.
And there were 4 white men killed unarmed by police.
In California. Okay.
Is it shocking?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely shocked. Yeah.
And so when you look at those numbers, it changed kind of the narrative of what you see on television. Black people aren't getting killed and shot unarmed the way they are presenting it. It's just that when one does, it's all over the news.
A retired black police officer shares his experiences and data on crime statistics. Ready for a dose of reality?
Let's determine that.
Does the fact that African Americans in general commit more crimes than white people, change your mind on that at all?
You can have stats on something, but it doesn't change the fact that every single person is an individual.
I was reading this thing, it said whites and Hispanics are more likely to be shot by the cops than black people are. Police officers are 18 times more likely to be killed by a black man than a black man is to be killed by a police officer. Actually, blacks are shot less than white people on average by the...
A reporter lays out the actual stats of crime against blacks by the police. Are feelings clouding the facts?
Problem with saying you're against the death penalty, but then allowing millions of unborn babies to be sentenced to death in a facility?
This can be over now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
I don't see it that way. I'm surprised that you're asking the question in that particular way. We're talking about a being that is not born, has not lived. You're not alive until you've been loved and wanted.
So, homeless people that are not wanted, they have no family, they're not loved, we can just go out and take them off the streets, do whatever we want? They're not alive?
I think you've just called an end to this. If that's your stance, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's your stance. You said if someone's not loved and wanted, they're not alive.
Bye. Thank you.
Don't touch my...
A pro-choice advocate stumbles when asked about their stance on the death penalty versus abortion rights. Is there a consistent principle at play?
What's the how do you define misogyny?
There's a lot of answers up there, Brian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, how do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
What? How do you, I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want, you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny? Is that the...
No.
I wanted to make sure that we were, like...
A feminist exits a debate when asked to define misogyny. Was the discussion too hot to handle?
Is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here. You need Jesus, ma'am. He can save you. He can give you a new heart. God can give you a new heart so that you love what God loves. No, that's irrational. What you're doing is irrational.
It is the most rational thing I've done.
You should love the proclamation of the truth of God's word.
A trans individual confronts a preacher with more volume than dialogue. Is shouting down others really a form of effective activism?
Yeah, it's not your culture, so I don't think you should appropriate it.
Whose culture is it?
Native Americans.
Who are the Native Americans?
The people who were here before Christopher Columbus was here, so they were on this land before us.
Okay. So why does that mean it's offensive? How does that correlate?
I mean, but that's just, like, it's not, I just don't think it's okay. I mean, it's... Is
my costume offensive?
I mean, it'd be way different if it was a white person doing blackface.
It would be different? Why would it be different?
Because it's more offensive.
A debate erupts over cultural attire, with double standards on full display. Why do the rules change based on who's wearing the costume?
And saying, you know, Black Lives Matter, if you don't like it, leave. Did you notice that no one left? Because we all believe Black lives do matter, do we not? Yeah. Black lives do matter.
My best friends are black. Like, I'm from downtown.
I have black friends.
Can I ask you a question? Do you support Joe Biden?
Yes.
Do you not think he's racist for all of the things that he has said?
I think that there have been things that he has said that may have been racist.
So since you support Joe Biden, are you racist?
No.
Oh, that
No, because he doesn't. He doesn't.
Okay, so he touches kids. Are you a pedophile?
He doesn't touch kids.
Yeah.
He does.
But okay, so then racist. You must be racist then.
Assault allegations that are currently on the books against Trump. Do you want to talk about him paying off a 13-year-old girl? Because and dropping those charges.
I'm not going to believe anything you say until I see proof with that. I just think it's funny how I support Trump, so I'm racist, but you support Biden, who actively has said racist things, and he called schools that are integrated a jungle gym, racial jungle gym. So you're not racist for liking a man supporting a man.
Accusations of racism fly in a heated exchange between supporters of Trump and Biden. Are we judging actions or labels?
Me, I couldn't even abort my dog's puppies, okay? How on God's earth can you abort a child that is God-given, okay? And the Bible says, no, wait, we listen to you. The Bible says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. I knew you. He knew that you and I were going to stand here today and have this conversation. He knew everything that was going on today before he created the earth. What would happen if they had aborted Abraham Lincoln? What would have happened if they would have aborted
Trump? That would have been amazing.
That's your opinion.
Exactly.
Okay.
And but hear me, the Bible is also your opinion. It's not factual.
No, actually,
it is not factual.
Actually, if you go back and study, if you go back and study,
I was raised Jewish.
Okay, I am Jewish myself. Okay, so nice try.
A Jewish debate on abortion showcases intense intra-faith disagreement. What happens when personal beliefs clash so publicly?
I mean, so from my understanding, the Olympic boxer is from Algeria, where it is illegal and it's a crime to be queer or trans.
He's recognized as male in Olympic boxing, yet some deny his gender. Are we ignoring biological facts for social narratives?
It's literally just common sense. It's saying that this is real history. This is what has happened in the past.
Wait, so what?
That matters.
Okay, got it. So, for example, would you say that black-only dormitories is wrong?
It certainly creates a sense of community. I don't see any problem with that. We have sororities. We have male-only dorms.
But let me ask you a question. Are there differences between races?
No, not biologically.
Then why would we have different dormitories for races?
Culture.
Segregation is what you're arguing for, my friend.
No, sir.
How is it not segregation to have blacks in their own dorm?
You've just pigeonholed me, essentially.
You said it was a force of community, and then for your not for critical race theory...
That's an option. We have choice.
Oh, so you could choose to segregate.
That's a pigeonhole.
What do you think of white-only dormitories? Would you support white-only dormitories?
Everybody has a choice.
So I think white-only and black-only anything is evil and wrong.
Charlie Kirk debates a student on critical race theory, bringing data into the classroom. Who's really learning today?
Do you think that the wage gap might be around because women choose to earn less? They choose fields and careers that make less money?
No, I don't think that that's the case at all. I think that women aren't given a voice, and maybe there is there's a built-in repression of women being able to ask for more money and to step up, and that when you go and ask your boss for a raise, as a woman, you go in feeling like a bitch.
It's something that you won't understand as a white male.
A reporter questions if the gender pay gap is about societal structure or personal choice. What's driving these differences?
Can a child be transgender?
Yeah, I think so.
How and why? Explain it to me, sir, and for our audience.
The thing is like I'm friends with quite a lot of transgenders, and the thing is I don't think it means like you don't have to fully transition, but it's like a lot of people, they have that thought inside their head, if you know what I mean, where like as a child they feel like they're not in the right body.
You just said, which is, look, everyone's experimenting with that non-surgical idea.
Yeah,
is that still okay for under 18s, even if it's just pronouns?
Because even still, you're taught like sex ed in primary school, you know what I mean? So you still get talks like that. So I feel like everyone should get a talk of how to like be themselves, treat other people fairly, stuff like that.
So I think what's really interesting is that you again, very common sense, I like it. So you mentioned sex ed, and you mentioned common respect. Mm-hmm. Is that not very different from saying to little Jimmy, actually, you might be a girl? Are they not two very different things?
I think
that's where we have to start the debate.
Yeah, I think that's kind of harder to answer. But so what do you mean? It's like telling people that it's okay for them to be themselves, and then saying like,
well, be who you want to be. When I was growing up, it was be whatever you want to be. But that meant be an astronaut, be a lawyer, be a doctor, that meant fulfill your potential.
Yeah.
For example, if an 8-year-old reaches for the vodka bottle at home, parents should say.
A discussion on whether children can truly understand gender identity gets intense. Ideology versus reality. Who wins?
Trump, you guys hear about the FBI searching his Mar-a-Lago home?
Absolutely.
Upon the FBI's search of his Mar-a-Lago home, they found that he took the Bill of Rights. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about it, but are you surprised? I mean, there's very
It's a big thing to steal, you know?
Sir, we're talking Donald Trump.
This search has exposed a few things that he spent money on when he was president. In 2018, he had spent $60 million of taxpayer money on golden toilets in the White House. Can I get a comment from you on that?
Well, of course it's wasteful when the people are hungry and homeless, but I just don't really understand why it's taken so long.
Donald Trump, in 2018, spent $15 million of taxpayer money on big game hunting, northern white rhinos. Can I get your thoughts on that?
They should him. You can't trust that mother. No, they should use that taxpayers' money on something else for the poor.
Do you have a message for Donald Trump
Trump critics swallow dubious claims without skepticism. Where's the line between fact and fiction?
Want to catch Wokey moments in 4K? Watch till the end, subscribe, like the video, and comment Wokies for a chance to win a brand new iPhone 16 or a cash prize. Also, don't forget to check out the next video on the end screen for more chances to win.
Do you think Pride is a place for kids? 10 years old, because that's when I was in 3rd grade and I took sex ed then. And if I'm able to learn about a vagina during that time, then why can't a kid learn about, like, you know, like what straight, cis, and all that other stuff is?
A Wokey argues that bringing young children to a pride parade is fine. Are we considering the appropriateness of environments for kids?
Thing is that forcing a mother, or not a mother, she would be a terrible mother, forcing a woman to go through labor is not considered freedom. That is what you're trying to say.
Do you believe that it's okay to force a victim to have a child?
So I really love those arguments because I will address, and if you'll let me finish, I'll answer. So I will address that. But I think it's irrelevant to the case if we don't first condemn all other instances of abortion. Can you first condemn all other instances of abortion?
Why would we do that?
So why would you make it an argument?
It is for women who do not want to be pregnant.
So why bring up?
Because
it's a cope.
Actual thing that happens to real women. Real women get.
Counts for 0.1% of all abortions.
And it shouldn't matter if one woman has to endure the trauma of carrying a child to term after being.
It accounts for 0.1% of abortions. So first condemn the other 99.9, and then I will address it.
I absolutely would not condemn.
You're right, you won't, because you use it as a mechanism to cope.
Daughters.
A pro-life advocate is pressed to reconcile their views on abortion with their other beliefs. Looking for logical consistency. Will we find any?
I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm Linda, Cheryl.
Nice to meet you.
And you are?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm just trying to be nice.
Could I ask you what you're doing?
We're having a press conference.
Sweet. Could I talk?
No.
Why? You want a kiss?
No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks.
Why are you blocking my
Because I felt like it.
Why are you so angry?
I want to punch you in the face.
I wish you would. You would go to jail immediately.
Awesome.
Do it. Do it. I dare you.
I want you to go to jail with me.
All right, go.
So I can fuck you up.
Why are you so... Can I ask you if you're Christian?
No, I'd rather go to hell.
Yeah, I figured you would. That's where you're going.
All my friends will be there.
All your friends will be there? Are they pro-choice too?
We're going to continue.
Are they pro-choice too?
With an emergency medicine physician.
Are we just playing the silent game now?
Dr. Mary Jane Brown.
Figured.
Come forward and tell us.
You have nothing to say because you know you'll lose. Why are you putting your body into me or touching me right now?
Oh God, are you uncomfortable? Me too.
Yeah, kinda.
Get back.
If you're uncomfortable, get away from me.
Lying with them, and I had to tell them that they were miscarrying a wanted pregnancy.
Literally never happens.
You need to leave now, because we have permission to be here. You need to leave.
Are you mad?
Leave.
This is a great day. You guys are gonna go to jail.
You need to leave.
I don't need to go anywhere.
I think it'd be in your best interest.
This is public property.
Ask them to be respectful. They can have a press conference.
Thank you for being nice, by the way. You're the first nice person.
Can we have a press conference? I think you have a right to do that.
Thank you.
But don't interrupt others, okay? You can be here.
I just disagree with the points, but thank you for being nice, by the way. Thank you for being nice. God bless you. You're a nice person. You really are. Can't say the same about anyone else.
No exception from mothers whose lives are at risk from breast cancer, melanoma, other dangerous cancers.
They're saying that they want me gone, but haven't done anything.
Oh, you have the right to stay here too.
Thank you.
Remember, offensive speech is still free speech.
God bless you.
The state of Tennessee is saying,
Please don't want anything to
He's disputing the speaker. He's disrupting.
There's nothing we can do about his freedom of speech as long as he don't hit y'all or assault y'all.
Okay.
By the way, she threatened to kill me, that woman right there. I don't know if you can do anything about that, but she said she wanted me. So.
He threatened that I would go to jail.
You did not. Now you're lying. That's a typical Democrat right there.
Kind of make sure that we keep a little bit of space just to make sure nothing.
You literally got right in front of me. Now you're complaining about it. You were over here. I came. You came up to me.
I'm so sorry.
So stop playing victim. That's what you guys all do. Because you have no case for anything. You play victim. Just keep your legs closed. This won't be an issue.
Every one of these things.
I do.
Go live your life.
This is my life. Making sure you people don't have an abortion.
Civility falls by the wayside as a reporter confronts a particularly rude pro-life advocate. Is respect no longer part of the conversation?
Life. Okay. Actually, something I would like to tell you, 13,000 lives are taken every year due to homicides with a gun. Up to 3 million lives are saved every year due to defensive use of firearms. Being pro-gun is being pro-woman, pro-lives, pro-LGBTQ. That is the most #1 thing you can do to support anyone's life, is saying, yes, you have the right to defend yourself. Up to 3 million lives are saved every year due to defensive use of firearms. Why are you harming people's lives by wanting to restrict that?
Give me a second. I want to look up a statistic.
I have the statistics. I know what I'm talking about. I know the facts. They don't. They come out here and want to push their propaganda thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's an example.
A wokey anti-gun advocate is challenged with hard data. Can emotional arguments stand against solid statistics?
Yeah, because these are people who are coming in and instigating and terrorizing our students on this campus, and that's not okay.
Are they telling you that you can't leave the area? Are they threatening you specifically in any way?
Not specifically. They're threatening me with their language, with their ideals.
Unfortunately, I mean, if your ideals or their language doesn't conform to what your thinking is, that's freedom of speech is.
It's not.
So if you agree with something, he agrees with something else, you guys agree to disagree.
As long as they're not chaining you against your will,
right.
As long as they're not threatening you physically, they're allowed to have their opinion just as much as you're allowed to have yours.
So there's nothing you guys can do?
No, sir, that's freedom of speech.
So that means they're allowed to terrorize students by using
Once
their...
again, terrorize is the word that you're using. That's your opinion. I'm here to help you as much as you can, but I'm trying to figure out what law they're breaking right now. So I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I'm asking you. You just keep giving me ideas, your opinions. And the law is not about opinions, it's about facts.
A cop discusses the essentials of free speech with a lefty student. Isn't free speech a right for all, regardless of viewpoint? For more wokey videos, click on the screen right now.
Donald Trump for president. He'll keep the white people safe. He'll make the Jews come back to life.
What are your thoughts on Biden?
Ew, no. Oh my God.
I have compassion for the guy, you know. Where's his wife? Where's everybody else that should be looking after him?
Bring Obama back.
Trump
is a criminal, is a very sick person.
He's a rapist, he's a liar.
What are your thoughts on January 6th?
They were sadly trying to destroy democracy.
Biden's son going to jail.
Honestly, in my opinion, we don't have enough immigrants in this country.
Nosotros no tenemos papeles, no tenemos trabajo y no tenemos más hambre y aquí estamos gracias a él nos ayuda.
You had to be sick to vote for Biden.
Whoever moves first is gay.
With the presidential election November 5th, I hit the streets of major cities all across America with one simple question.
Who are you voting for, if anyone?
If Donald Trump does not win, what do you do?
I hope that I'm going to die.
Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Starting in New York City, with Trump's recent felony convictions taking place in his own city, and a new home to countless migrants who just illegally crossed the border, who do New Yorkers think can best solve America's problems?
Yeah, it's still undecided.
Trump? Yeah. Question for you, sir. Whoa!
Way! Hey. 73, you pathetic mother.
Yo, quit tweaking, man. Who are you voting for?
Suck my balls.
Oh, shit. What are you on right now?
I want to vote you, mother.
What the fuck is your problem?
Suck my dick.
Biden, porque no sé, su ideología es como más, a mí me parece mejor.
¿De dónde eres?
De Venezuela. Trump.
Why?
Because he's not an idiot. Biden's an idiot.
Trump. Para bien o para mal, el gobierno republicano es el que ha hecho siempre grande América.
Like your mother to touch your dick.
Are you on meth right now?
How are you, mother? Look at me, you sick mother.
Oh shit, he's still going. Run! Yo, he's still going. ¿Cuántos años, meses vivir aquí?
Vengo llegando, una semana.
¿Una semana?
Sí.
1 week. New York, bien o no?
New York, excellent.
Okay, welcome to America. Bienvenidos.
I noticed the hat. Do you think, is Israel play any role in your vote? What are you thinking?
Trump is much better for Israel.
Okay. Okay, are we witnessing the reddening of New York?
I hope so.
Okay.
That's a New York I can live in.
It's getting red.
Okay.
It's getting there. New York's getting all f***ed up, so.
Are people pissed off or what?
People are pissed off. They need to change
What are your
things.
thoughts on the convictions?
You know, it's a witch trial. There's bigger problems to fry in New York. Whole
Okay.
city is falling apart. I've been here since the 80s, and this is the worst I've seen it, so.
Wait, locked in on me. I can't do this. He's gonna kill us. Trump or Biden?
Biden. The other guy sucks.
Any way you look at it, it's going to be
We're screwed either way?
screwed.
Excuse me, Trump or Biden?
Biden.
Trump.
I would say Trump.
What policies are you concerned with right now?
Immigration, financial, just general regulation and direction of the country.
What are your thoughts on inflation?
Killing people, once again, at that same level, you know. Groceries, energy.
Do you think the average person can survive out here in New York financially these days?
The average person?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not living here if you don't have quite a bit of money.
How you doing, man? Who are you voting for? Presidente. Who are you voting for? Oh, yo.
Yo,
I gotta go. I would say right now, New York, we've gotten more Trumps than Biden.
I think that's the way to go. I mean, everybody kind of has similar views when it comes to what they want right now. And it's definitely lower gas prices and everything else that comes with this. So, yeah.
Did you vote last election?
Yeah, I unfortunately voted for Biden.
Do you regret that decision?
100%.
What are your thoughts on the migrant situation here in New York right now?
You see people everywhere. It's like a lot of them are getting stuck in hotels and whatnot now. And it's like, I think they should just hurry up and like build some new like spots for them already, you know, knowing this country.
The election is rigged.
Yes.
Yeah?
100%.
Should we juke him out? Or juke him through the glass? Let's see if we got the juke. Stay first. Jesus Christ. He's unhinged. Are you voting for Trump or Biden this year?
Trump all the way.
Okay, tell me why.
Because he's the best, he's the most aggressive, he's the smartest. Against any other opposition, I would take him, but forget about Biden. It's sad to see him. The man is sick and he doesn't belong there. We're not a democracy anymore. And those folks think that the democracy has a problem, and they're the ones who have a problem with democracy. They're writing executive orders, they're jumping around the Congress, that's the people's house. The legislature is supposed to be making those kind of calls, how to spend our money. They have the purse strings. And yet the Democrats are finding ways around it. They're criticizing the Supreme Court. You know, they're not practicing what it is to be an American. And they're certainly not practicing what a democracy is.
You gonna vote for Trump or Biden this year?
I think we're screwed. I think Trump's got it.
Oh, shit. Why do you lock in on us? What? Hey, NYPD, can you do something? This guy's tweaking. He's been chasing us down. This guy right here. Can you do anything? I can't do shit.
You hear the crooked media say, oh, he's sharper now than he ever was. He's sharp, he's fine. He's about Biden.
Do you think he has the mental faculties to be the president of the United States?
Absolutely not. And it's sad to see, you know, I mean, as much as I am totally against all of his policies, I was from the start, I have compassion for the guy, you know. Where's his wife? Where's everybody else that should be looking after him, concerned about his well-being, you know? Biden has, you know, there's no way. What can he do against Trump? Trump is sharp, he's fast, he knows names, he knows statistics, and he's passionate. He's, I think, the most patriotic we have in this country. He doesn't need it. What does he need this for?
You tell me.
He's a multi-billionaire. He could do whatever he wants to do, but he decides that he wants to see what he can do to straighten out this country.
I feel like Biden's not really doing too much. At one point, I really hated Trump. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I was scared of what he would do when he was in president. But it looks like Trump is more promising than Biden right now.
Trump is complicated and he get a lot of bad, you know, it's kind of criminal, man.
If he was not a felon, would you vote for him?
No. I mean, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm voting for Biden.
Okay. RFK?
Yeah.
Why do you like RFK? It's one of the first people we've heard.
Seems honest, seems straightforward, wants to get us out of forever wars. He doesn't represent the establishment as much as the other two candidates.
Do you think they've unintentionally made Trump some sort of political martyr?
Probably. I mean, I don't think paying off a porn star is, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Porn stars,
coin, right?
Porn stars work for money. But that's it. I mean, RFK is the guy you want, but I'm worried that he's just not getting enough attention.
Trump all the way.
Okay, tell me why.
I'm not even American.
Okay.
He just made things happen. I don't know. I feel like Sleepy Joe we're definitely for Trump's tenacity, his balls for lack of better words.
Yeah, other countries didn't take advantage of America because
as a leader, respected him.
You told the leader of the Taliban, before you ever talked about any withdrawal, that in no uncertain terms, you would obliterate him. You at one point tell him, I know exactly where you are, and give him the exact coordinates where he was?
Sorry.
I sent him a picture of his house.
Mom.
Trump or Biden?
Biden.
Can't say.
Okay, fair.
Neither. I think I'm probably going to end up voting for Biden. I'm not super happy about it.
Oh, I hope
¿Por
not.
qué?
Sí, porque nos apoyan nosotros no tenemos papeles, no tenemos trabajo y no tenemos más hambre que el Chavo del Ocho y aquí estamos, gracias a él, nos ayudan.
Okay. ¿De dónde eres?
Venezuela.
You know, I don't think we should be as limited to only 2 options. I feel like the way that we are set up is very limiting and is getting us to the place that we are now where a lot of American people don't feel represented.
Biden. Do you think he'll win?
Yes.
Okay.
What do the people
hope
chilling near
not.
the Trump Tower think about
If it
the
happens, it
Donald
happens.
Trump?
I'm
Man's
not
built
gonna-
an empire. Don't you guys like Trump?
He's a criminal, he's a very sick person, and he's very frightening.
If he was right here, what would you say to him?
To him,
Too old? Biden's
You're
4 years
getting
older,
too
though.
old.
What are we talking?
Like the LGBTQ community, all them, forcing them at such a young age, I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, he's mentally ill. Plus, he's a miserable.
Stop. I'm not going to watch the interview and all the garbage about it. You know what? You know what? You know what? Let's see if I can get it to pop on. Hold on here. Uh-oh. I don't have a controller. I hope the controller works. Let's see if I can find a spot to plug it in back here without breaking my back. Here we go. Okay, we're going to play some Doom. I haven't played any Doom in a while, so let's close that. Let's so kind of give it a second so it'll set up, get my stuff in where I need to go. So I'm going to play some Doom. Not on this screen. No, not on this screen either. Chaos Engine, no. Green flag, no. Yeah, I know it's going through it. No. Let's see what it looks like. Hold on. Oh, I don't have a game capture up. That's why. I need to do a game capture. What? Oh, come on, man. Really? Oh. Hold on, I gotta see if I can fix it, if it'll let me. Okay, let's turn the TV off. Let's open this. Oh, I can't have it above that, huh? I gotta do it this way, okay. Come on, fucking open, you piece of crap. Okay, let's close this. Let's pop this back up. Okay. All right, let's go. Get that up. Hold on, I gotta do this. Okay, so let's see here.
Demonic threat reduced by 50%.
Lots of goo. I like it. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna die. I died there, what the hell? Ah. Ah. Okay.
Demonic threat reduced by 50%.
Supposed to go this way? that's where I came from. Yeah, this is where I came out okay.
Warning, core temperature rising.
Warning! Warning! So... okay, I guess I can't go that way.
Stay focused. Stay committed.
Okay, where am I supposed to go? Because it won't open. Oh, come on. I had full flippin' health, you pooper scooper. I had full health.
Demonic threat reduced by 50%.
So, yeah, how's you guys doing, man? How's you guys doing? You guys doing good?
Warning, core temperature rising. This way. Then down here, and he'll be popping up right here. Take the yellow card, thank you. Yay, I got the yellow card. I got the... Uh-oh.
UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation to our success. With you, we will establish a new paradigm.
So where's the yellow door? Yeah, I got the yellow key now. Whoa, what? You! I'm dead.
Have you filled out your UAC accidental death and dismemberment form yet?
Shit.
Demonic threat reduced by 50%.
Your devotion to the UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation to our success. With you, we will establish a new paradigm and move humanity into the future.
I killed. Well, that sucked.
Have you filled out your UAC accidental death and dismemberment?
Demonic threat reduced by 50%.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on. Supposed to go this way? damn laws, man. It's been a while since I played this game. Get from this. So what is that? Okay, so I got that. I gotta go up. Okay, how do I get up? I'm serious. How do I get up? This. And I am. Wait, what's this? Oh, is that where I need to get? So I need to go find the blue key. Okay, so I need the blue key. I need to go up. It says I need to go up. Whoa. Whoa.
Remember, the blind council is always watching. Stay focused, stay committed. The blind council is always watching.
I missed. Damn. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so that door is locked.
Warning. Core temperature rising. Demonic threat reduced by 75%.
I got the blue key. I got the blue key. Da 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 da.
See Jessica. See
Jessica.
Your devotion to the UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation to our success. With you, we will establish a new paradigm and move Have you filled out your UAC accidental death and dismemberment form yet? See Jessica in Human Resources for assistance. Your devotion to the UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation. Establish a new paradigm into the future. Have you filled out your UAC accidental death and dismemberment form yet? See Jessica in Human Resources for assistance. Your devotion to the UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation to our success.
Yeah, baby.
We will establish a new paradigm and move humanity into the future.
Demonic presence reduced to minimum safe levels. Lockdown disengaged. Turbine room doors
Have you filled
now
out your
open.
UAC accidental death and dismemberment form yet? See Jessica in Human Resources for assistance. Your devotion to the UAC's mission on Mars is the foundation to our success. With you, we will establish a new paradigm. Have you filled out your UAC accidental death and dismemberment form yet? See Jessica and Human Resources for assistance. Your devotion.
Warning. Core temperature reaching critical levels.
Camera's like on my head. Sorry. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's right. I gotta turn my oh, it's on that. want to get off Doom. My attention span is kind of low today, so... Okay, so we're going to go to Madness News Network. Guess we got a... We got a moving company here now. What the... What is this?
These are some moments when woke people humiliated themselves on camera. They always do, but these are just some that were caught on camera. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, get a kick of these moments of pure insanity. Try not to get secondhand embarrassment.
I am a robot or android of sorts. I am not human, and I lack the ability to fully act human, because since I spawned in this human body, I have not been able to access the internet and download new ways of acting. I have transcripts for every way of acting and reacting to different things, and I lack new ones due to not being able to connect to the internet anymore. So I cannot always react accordingly to new things, because I cannot look it up anymore and do not know how to act and react.
Go ahead and take a second. You definitely need it after watching that train wreck. She is an android that can't access the internet but knows how to film and post a TikTok? Okay.
Zero evidence that I'm a racist. You've enabled racists. That makes you like Candace Owens. You've enabled racists. Like Larry Elder. Like Dr. Ben Carson. Like Stacey Dash. Dr. Ben Carson. Yeah, Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh,
The bitter racist who's a black head of housing and urban development.
Yeah, because being black really makes you really anti-racist.
So at what point would I not be a racist then?
When you stop enabling racists.
Name one.
All of your supporters. All of these motherfuckers. All these people are racist.
That's an unbelievably racist thing to say.
Discriminate us against this based on
Whoa. Are you serious?
Yes, racists and racism, the only keywords wokies know, but somehow do not understand. And what's more childish than realizing you've lost an argument and throwing a tantrum? Water on personal equipment? Sounds like a destruction of personal property charge. Hope they have more water in jail.
Are your hats free?
No.
They're not?
No.
I thought you supported socialism, free everything.
Walk away.
Why do you call it a hat?
No, what is this like? Oh, I thought you supported socialism. I also support surviving in a country where I don't have health care.
This is
Get the out of my face, you freak!
Please don't scream at me. I haven't raised my voice.
I don't care if you didn't raise your voice. It doesn't make you sound like, get the out of my face!
That was kind of scary.
Yeah, you should be scared. You should be scared, because you're a piece of How about you talk to your doctor about your health problems and leave my health problems with me and my doctor and get the government out of it? And who's are you, stranger? Stranger? You want to look at my Get the out of here!
I never said I wanted to look at her, but
all of you like white supremacist people think you just talk calmly, you seem normal?
What is up with this?
Because you're psycho!
He didn't even have to do anything. The more she opened her mouth, the deeper she dived into the mud. Ma'am, have some dignity.
Are you a liberal? Yeah. We'll just keep getting we'll just keep getting variants over and over and over until people get vaccinated. I hate Donald Trump. I'm gonna say it. I don't care what y'all think. Trump sucks. Turn off the Fox News. Do your parents listen to Fox News? So this is my classroom, and if you guys are gonna put me at risk, you're gonna hear about it because I have to be here. Most of y'all parents are dumber than you. I'm gonna say that out loud.
Well, that was
My
nice.
parents are freaking dumb. Okay? Oh, I could go off on it the whole entire class period if you want me to. But I'm not going, so you're taking chemistry. You need to do chemistry. If you don't believe in climate change, get the hell out.
This high school chemistry teacher in Utah decided to share her diary entries with her students instead of teaching about atoms and compounds.
Hi, I'm hoping that you could explain without using a single buzzword or a conservative talking point what CRT is.
So you want to go back to Herbert Marcuse, the Frankfurt School, Michel Foucault, Jacques Derrida,
I want you to
One-Dimensional
answer
Man?
my question.
No, I'm just asking you, how far back do you want me to go?
I want you to explain what CRT is.
What CRT is comes out of critical theory, which came out of the Frankfurt School, which is a belief that there are systems that exist both institutionally and systemically, and that through critical theory, which also has critical law theory, through the kind of the changing of how we view society must be through a racial lens and not through a economic lens or through a legal lens. And if you look very clearly at the writings of Marcuse, at the writings of Spinoza, especially in the early 1990s where this started to pop up, there was this idea that we must give preference based on the melanin content of people's skin, not on actions, not on choices, and instead, because America's so unequal, because it is so inequitable, that these writers and authors that were the beginning people that actually started this term critical race theory 50 or 60 years ago believed that this would be a true Marxist-type movement that would help happen in this country. It was kind of fostered and started in many different universities across this country. Marcuse came from the Frankfurt School, and it really kind of comes back to the couple beliefs that CRT believes in, to make it overly simple. Number one, that there is no such thing as absolute truth. That number two, power dynamics are more important than anything else. Number three, skin color should be something that has a top priority in how we characterize people and their worth and their dignity. Number four, that kind of American history and kind of how we teach it is completely wrong. Five, that America is systemically racist, and I could continue from that. That right there is a 35,000-foot view. Happy to go deeper, but that is the history of critical race theory, and it's evolved into terms of wokeism, diversity, equity, inclusion, the idea of America being systemically racist, 1619 Project. They're all outgrowths of the postmodern deconstructionist type viewpoint that started in the 1960s from Marcuse, who was a Marxist type believer in the Frankfurt School, was expelled, found domicile here in America, and implemented in our colleges. How'd I do?
I do appreciate that response. Thank you. You did use the word wokeism, which is a conservative buzzword, unfortunately. I'm going to take my seat. Thank you.
So he just broke it into bite-sized pieces, but she just walked away because she wanted the bites in dinosaur shapes.
Bred to eat. It's not just picking a random cow and killing it.
Just because that's their purpose that we forced upon them, does that justify murder?
Do we not force upon dogs with pets as well? Do you have a dog? Do you have a pet dog?
Yes, I have a companion dog.
What kind of dog?
He's a Jack Russell.
How much did you pay for that?
I don't know. He's been in my family for 10 years, but I don't agree with breeding animals into existence.
So why did you?
So I wasn't vegan at that point in time. As a vegan, I would never pay.
Did she just say companion dog? A Jack Russell? Lolo.
Nashville drag performer. Okay, that doesn't sound too good. I gave you guys a warning not to block me, but if I'm gonna have to use the megaphone, that's what's gonna have to happen. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. What'd you imagine? This is...
Oh no! What a woke thing to do.
This isn't good. This isn't good. That's destruction of property, ma'am. Learn your laws. That's destruction of property.
Okay, but did you see her face? Someone is about to become a meme.
In your court, what matters more? The rights of individuals or your political ideology?
I apply the law to the facts.
I asked a question, which matters more?
Well, my political ideology doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so I don't believe you. And I think this case demonstrates that you are willing to subjugate the rights of individuals to satisfy your political ideology. This case involves a male defendant who raped a 9-year-old boy. Was he guilty of that?
Yes, the petitioner pled guilty to that.
Okay, so he raped a 9-year-old boy. He also raped a 17-year-old girl. Was he guilty of that?
He pled guilty, the petitioner pled guilty to that crime as well.
So was he guilty?
I hope so, because she pled guilty to it.
He was a he when he did this.
That's correct.
1 year after being released again, he was convicted of having child pornography. Is that correct?
I'm unclear on exactly the time frame that you're at, but the petitioner was convicted of distributing child pornography.
Child pornography that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
that is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely. Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Probably not.
Is that a question?
Yes. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision.
I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
But you didn't think so. You didn't think so. And in fact, I'm going to give some quotes from your order because Senator Kennedy is right. This is not a judge's order. This is a political activist. By the way, the beginning of your order
this is so funny.
At birth, people are typically assigned a gender. I got to say that would astonish a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans think you go to the hospital, a baby is born, and congratulations, you have a little boy, a little girl. The assigned a gender, I know you went to Brown, but it sounds like it's in a college faculty lounge with no bearing on reality. The Bureau of Prison argued. What I'm saying right now, that if you put this person in a female prison, there will be a risk of assault to the women. And you know what you did? You said you didn't care about the women. Have you dealt in what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at a risk of reoffending?
Senator, as I do in every case.
Okay, I know you've been told to repeat the line, I follow the law. I asked a question. In what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at risk of reoffending?
Sir, I looked at the facts that were before me in this case. All of the evidence, including the statements of every warden who had supervised this petition.
I have to say, if I were the father of one of those women, and you decided that my daughter's cellmate was going to be a 6'2" man who over and over and over again committed violent sexual assault, I would say the entire justice system is absurd, and it is clear on your record your political ideology matters a heck of a lot more than the rights of those women that you endangered. I think you're a radical, and I think you have no business being a judge.
This judge put a 6'2" male serial rapist into a female prison because he was on estrogen. You can't even ask the question, what was going through her mind? Because nothing was. Absolutely nothing. All she wanted was a good star for a little rainbow club. Oh, did you catch her calling the rapist a he a few times before catching herself? Someone's in trouble.
Yes or no, you judge a guy based on height? You do? I judge based on weight, and that's something you can change. So I got a scale right here. I just want to see like how heavy. Your turn. 171.
That must have been so embarrassing. Well, make your bed and lie on it.
What is up with this?
Spirits don't move. You tripping. Spirits don't move. I'm gonna go. Demons don't move me. Spirits don't move me. We good.
Ma'am, this is not the LGBTQ parade. Sorry, the zoo.
Hey guys, update. I didn't get the job. I just got the email. I'm guessing my parents had a lot to do with it.
That is Miss White. Her content surrounded how difficult her life was after her face tattoos. According to White, she got the tattoos against her will. A boyfriend had gotten her drunk, and she woke up in a hotel room sexually assaulted and tatted. Guess what? It was all a lie.
My son does identify as a cat, but I cannot take him to a vet because I tried that, and the veterinarian told me that because he has human anatomy, that he does not know how to work on him or diagnose him with anything, and he legally cannot. So, and while I do think that is a form of discrimination, because, you know, my son, if he says he's a cat, he is a cat. And he needs to be treated like that, like one, you know? But I'm not gonna press charges because I know that he could lose his license if he did work on my son. So I'm not gonna try to sue him or anything, so don't worry. But this is something that I want to raise awareness on, because I do think that people that identify as an animal should be able to go to the vet. You know, that's the medical attention that they're wanting. And so I really do appreciate you asking this question. I think it's an important topic that we discuss, because if we don't, we're never going to make progress. And these people that identify as cats are going to have to continue going to human doctors. And I just don't think that that's fair.
She is absolutely right. Somebody get that child to a vet and have his mother sign a consent form. We need to make progress.
Completely unfamiliar with child sex dolls, so I had, of course, to Google it last night. I was a little scared to put it in my search engine, but I did. And apparently there is research on the subject. Not much, but there are what they call MAPs, minor attracted persons. And the limited amount of research that's done on these dolls, guys, suggests that they actually, for people who are attracted to minors, that these dolls actually decrease their proclivity to go out and attack children. That it actually gives them a release that makes them less likely to go outside of their home. And what was interesting is the research did not support the same conclusions for people who were adult attracted using dolls. That did not diminish their proclivity to engage other people, but for those with the... So I'm just a little concerned that, and like I say, the research is not very good, it is not comprehensive, but the research that is out there is conclusive.
And she just kept talking. Ma'am, please get some help.
I don't know who needs this reminder, but apparently a lot of y'all do. I am not a man. I am not assigned male at birth. I am an assigned female at birth, femme, non-binary person. If there is a choice between a man and a bear, I'm the one that gets to choose. Also, so it's not a choice. Stop fucking saying, oh my god, I would totally choose the bear over you, just because I'm standing up for liberation. Okay? You don't get to choose between me and the bear. Okay? I get to choose between a man and a bear. And if anything, I am the fucking bear that will tear apart the man who hurts you. Do you understand me?
Confused.
Like, and the fact that men do not understand why we would choose the bear literally just proves everything. Stop treating me like I'm a man. I spent the majority of my life being read and treated as a woman, and I still do. So, seriously, stop treating me like a man. Do you understand me? Also, it doesn't even matter what I was assigned at birth, but it does matter how I was socialized as. Honestly, it does matter. And I was socialized as female, okay? I was socialized as a woman, and I hold all of those traits all the way through. I will never choose the man, because I will always choose.
Assigned female at birth. So you're trying to be a man because you look like a man. Oh wait, you're trying to be a trans woman. There's so much confusion in the American air. You are right about one thing, however. You are the bear, the unbearable Wokey.
Mostly I feel feminine or non-binary. Today I'm feeling really femme and cat-like as well. Yeah. But I also feel masculine, mostly boyish. I don't ever really want a hoo-hoo. I'm proud to have a hoo-ha. But I also, sometimes want to take these guys off. But other times I'm happy to have them. I love to play with them. I love them. Other days I want to tape them down. I'm running out of time. But yeah, I go through stages of feeling feminine, non-binary, and sometimes boyish.
Anyone else feel sick and tired of this whole fiasco? We should think about mental institutions for our poor feelers. That's the only legitimate feeling right now.
Not carrying a child or being in a position as a woman should not have an opinion on that.
You thought you ate. Now watch this. If that's the case, if a woman decides to have the baby, why is a man then obligated to take care of it? It was her decision. If she can decide if it live or dies, I can decide if I want to take care of it or not, right? Okay then. All right then. All right then. For the record, I do not think that any father should decide not to take care of their child the same way. I don't feel like any mother should decide to abort their child. I believe that two grown people laid down and knew what would happen. They were educated and they knew what the result of sex would be. I got kids. I take care of all of my kids.
That is the equality we have hunted down for years, is it not? If she's allowed to not want to, why does he have to?
I think I didn't give permission to film me. I don't want to be filmed. You don't need your permission. Cool.
You literally walked up to him and took a photo without his permission.
I'm not being put on TV, you know?
Are you worried you're going to come off looking stupid?
No, it's not something I want to debate. That was just very typical of the level of intelligence. Oh, he's back.
Don't you find it funny that you said you don't want to be on film, you walked up, you took a photo without his consent, then you complained about being filmed without consent, and then you just won't leave us alone?
Being interviewed and photographed, you know?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Okay, so you didn't have to answer. It's just being photographed without consent is the same thing.
I want to be interviewed.
And you're still here.
Parents, please give your children maximum attention as they grow up. If not, they might just end up becoming another dummy in a blue jacket begging to show up in a video. If you do not want something, walk away from it. If you do not agree, feel free to argue.
Name one example of one thing that's ever been given out for free by the government, because there's nothing that's free. It's paid for by somebody at some point at some level of distribution.
How about Jeff Bezos, who has like $50 billion or something? He can afford to pay for that, right?
How did Jeff Bezos get his money?
By exploiting his laborers and not paying them enough.
If he's exploiting them, why do they work for him?
Because they don't have another opportunity
But have you
to
ever
work.
used Amazon?
No, I actually,
Never.
no, I don't
But
buy
you
from
use
them.
Starbucks.
Okay.
So Starbucks, that's a billionaire. You know how rich Howard Schultz is? So you're participating in his exploitation.
Starbucks
How
has
dare
better
you?
working conditions for their employees, though.
Well, how do you know that?
Because they have like a $15 minimum wage.
Wait, so Starbucks billionaire good, Amazon billionaire bad.
I would not like either of them to be billionaires.
Then why are you buying Starbucks? You're participating in the market economy.
Well, it's impossible to buy things without participating in the
Hold on a
market
second.
economy.
You could have went to a farmer's market. You could have bought something outside.
There's no farmer's market here.
There's no local coffee in Columbus at all.
No,
There's
not
no
near my house.
non-billionaire coffee distributors. The point is, it's very easy to critique billionaires while you swish your Starbucks latte back and forth. Made possible by a guy that wanted to become a billionaire. Why? Because of a profit motive.
This was made possible by the workers who made it, not by some
No, it's
guy.
actually made possible by you, the consumer. The workers wouldn't have a job if you didn't buy their product.
So much to unpack. You hate the ones who have worked to become wealthy. You don't want billionaires to exist. You definitely wouldn't mind being a billionaire, but let's stay on track. Woke Americans hate anyone better than them, and they do not intend on working on becoming better people, period.
What about folks who have wombs but are not women, like trans people, genderqueer folks? Why do you keep saying women when this issue affects more than women?
Because there are two genders, male and
There
female.
are. I am non-binary. I have a friend who is intersex, who is born, who has different chromosomes than you would expect somebody physically to have, because how many people in this room had a chromosomal test? This issue affects more than women. It affects trans men. It affects genderqueer folks.
Women have wombs.
I am not a woman, and I have a womb.
You are a woman.
I know.
Trans must always find its way into every discussion. And why is everyone so triggered? It's basic biology.
Is a man less of a man if he can't change a flat tire?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Is a woman less of a woman if she can't cook a meal from scratch?
We're biased, we're women. No, that's not a good answer.
There it is, the entirety of the feminist movement in this. Generation inequality. Don't you just look stupid getting tossed by cars in public? Please just get out of the streets.
Choices. Who would you say is more likely to be supportive of the LGBTQ community?
Your face.
Okay, why would you say that?
Because he's a brown person and he's not for Trump.
Do you think the fact that he's part of Hamas would stop him from supporting that community?
Not at all. Probably number one.
Number one?
Palestinians.
Why would you say that?
Because Trump supporters are typically anti-LGBT.
Do you think, so somebody that's a member of Hamas, would they support the LGBTQ community?
I'm not sure. I'd say no.
Number one? Okay, what makes you say that?
They just look kinder.
Kinder? Do you think that, somebody that's, say, a member of Hamas would be supportive of the gay community? Yeah. What do you think?
Well, you guys are in for a surprise. Would you like to spend the summer in the kind-looking man's country? This just shows that people only see what they choose to see.
Done. I'm done. Seriously, done. The Supreme Court has pissed me off so much right now. Like, so much. Joe, you're a reasonable man. You don't want to do this, but here's the reality. This is a war. This is a war now, and we are fighting for our country. And these are going to take it away. They're going to take it away.
What am I taking
Clarence
away?
Uncle Thomas. You. Joe, you now have the right to take that Trump out. Take him out, Joe. If he was Hitler and this was 1940, you'd take him out. Well, he is Hitler and this is 1940. Take him the out. Blow him up. Blow him up or they'll blow us up.
Did she say done or dumb? Either way, yes, you are dumb, and yes, we are done. Have any of these people heard about digital footprints?
Can we talk about illegal immigrants? Because our country is literally full of them. And I'm talking specifically about the whiteys, the Caucasians, the white people in America. They literally are here illegally. Their ancestors are criminals that came here illegally. And I don't know, maybe in the future we can do like a mass deportation, like all these white Americans they can go be refugees in Europe or something. Or like we can like have like a spot in America where like the refugees can go, and obviously we'll provide them with care and stuff, but it's important that they do it the right way. Just because their ancestors didn't doesn't mean they should get the benefits of that. And I think that they should become they should be deported until they can like work their way back and get a citizenship the right way, like the way I did it. I did all the paperwork. They should also have to, because again, we don't need more criminals in this country. It's already full of them.
Okay, she needs to take the most delusional wokey award at the next Pride Parade. This is just unmatched.
So since the Supreme Court just came down with some kind of bullshit decision saying that one man is above the law in this country, even though the Constitution says quite different, and they're supposed to uphold constitutional law, so I don't know what Constitution they read to get the answer for this, but since they say that a president is immune from prosecution for anything he does officially while he's in office, I think that Joe Biden should officially have Donald Trump killed off, and that would solve this problem of him being too stupid to run our country for 4 more years because he's brain dead. But he could win the election that way. Take the official stance and just shoot Donald Trump right there on 5th Street. The Supreme Court said you could.
This obviously threatening and terroristic video is allowed to stay on the internet, but if you call a man, sir, you're an older citizen. You are expected to be wise.
Hey everyone. So, I had a date today.
Yeah, and they stood you up, didn't they?
My date didn't show up, and everything was fine. I've been talking to a girl. I'm only interested in dating women. I'm not interested in dating men. And this morning we were texting back and forth, and I told her I was a trans woman, and she acted like she was fine with it. But I can't help feeling like the reason she didn't show up today is because of that. And it's just my opinion, but I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay to not date someone simply because of who they are or how they identify.
Is this satire? This has to be the biggest joke. Maybe this is the most delusional wokey. There are too many of them. They all deserve the award.
I am a 27-year-old transgender woman. I am a Wolfarian and a member of the furry fandom.
When and how did you discover this inner wolfness?
Probably around age 10 or 11. I was watching an anime about wolves and see the wolf running across the screen, and I'm somehow just intrinsically like, oh, that's me.
Have you spent any time around biological wolves?
Yes.
That sounds dangerous also. What context are you?
So I was a volunteer with a preserve, and I've also visited many wolf preserves.
Are you able to communicate with the wolves?
Am I going to have a conversation with a wolf in the way that I'm communicating you and I? Obviously not. Am I going to read their body language, respond appropriately to their behaviors and their nonverbal cues? Yes.
Would you be able to give us an example of this wolf communication?
No. I'm not comfortable doing so.
Okay.
She's 27 years old and has taken Halloween way too seriously. You communicate with wolves. We saw Batman at 10 and tied tablecloths around our necks. No one is standing on skyscrapers today and waiting for the city to call. Get some help.
Honestly, don't know what to do, but there was a really bad experience. Basically, I was just getting a drink at the bar, and they called both Azul and I ladies. After they were done making the drink, I went up and I was like, some people don't refer to themselves as ladies, but it's okay that you didn't know. I'm in a gay bar, so it should be safe. So bad turned her around. They got so mad at me, and they took the drink away from my wife and I. He hit the bar, because he was like, are you serious? You're doing the same thing to me. How? And then they kicked us out.
So somebody get her a tissue. If it's okay that the bartender didn't know, just get your drink and move on with your life.
Life expectancy has increased over time, which we would expect. But for one group, since 2000s up until now, life expectancy has actually decreased. This is middle-aged white men. The reason for this is actually mostly self-induced.
Sure. So life expectancy has nearly doubled since 1900.
No, I'm talking about specifically for white men since 2000.
Correct. So
who are middle-aged.
Let me finish the sentence without getting 6 words into it. I let you talk about whatever you wanted to talk about. The byproduct of why white men are having lower life expectancy since 2000 is self-induced.
Slow down. I'm sorry.
Am I talking too fast for you?
Yes,
okay.
You are actually.
Okay. Then I'll slow down. It is self-induced, meaning they are making bad choices. So America's a wonderful country because if you make good choices, you get rewarded, and if you make bad choices, you have bad things happen to you. So let me ask you a question. What is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
No, so my question...
No, answer the question because you're a subject matter expert on this.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Can you clarify? You said the reason that this issue is that they are making bad choices.
So what is the primary...
This is the entire population of middle-aged white men.
Right, so if you can answer my question, since you're a subject matter expert at it, what is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
Cancer or heart disease.
What is the
heart disease.
What is the #1 reason for heart disease?
Okay, so let's move on from that.
So are facts something you don't want to talk about tonight?
I am talking about facts, and what I was asking you is life expectancy for middle-aged men has decreased since 2000. This is a fact.
This is heart disease.
No,
which is a
no, I
byproduct.
just said this study showed the reason life expectancy is decreased is attributed to, I agreed with you, those are the main causes of death, but the reason that life expectancy has decreased since 2000 is because of self-induced harm. And all I was saying is you made a claim that life expectancy has increased. It hasn't. And for this group, that is mainly the demographic that is interested in you.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
Much lower. So it's increased exponentially over time. It has for every group. But then at 2000, there was a change. In 2000, there was a change.
Right.
And for men, they started to decrease.
It was a byproduct of surpluses and having food everywhere at all times.
It has nothing to do with obesity. This is self-induced harm that is causing this.
So let's walk through this. What is the #1 cause of death for middle-aged white men?
Not what I'm talking about. So I have another thing to say.
Heart disease. What is the #1 precursor for heart disease?
So I think we both made whatever point we wanted to make.
I'm still trying to figure out yours, but yes, please
That's okay. So my second question is...
And I would like to get to your shirt at some point, too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Black Lives Matter shirt. I feel like we are unable to have any sort of actual conversation, which is not what I came here thinking.
You are entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts.
These are not my own facts. I could provide studies and citations for everything I've said tonight. I haven't heard you do that.
I mean, everything, you can easily reference everything.
You said things that I know are factually wrong. This is coming from research.
Name one.
That life expectancy has increased for every group in America.
Since 1900, which is what I said.
Well, since 2000, it has not increased for white men.
Because they're making bad choices. Heart disease is the #1 killer of middle-aged white men. What causes heart disease? Overeating, sedentary lifestyle, not working out, indulging in alcohol, and drugs too much, which is a byproduct of our amazing surpluses made possible by the free market system. You know what the #1 cause of death in Venezuela is? Starvation. I would rather have a culture where we're trying to have people join gym memberships in a New Year resolution, not eat zoo animals.
Thank you for the conversation.
Her cheeks must have been burning after that. Again, if you already have a conclusion set in your head, maybe don't pretend like you're trying to have a conversation. If you would like to argue and just hear your own voice, do that.
I feel like dates can be so cheap. The last couple of dates that I've gone on, I've expected the guy to pay because I feel like the man should pay for the first date, and they just don't want to. And so I just had a date earlier this afternoon, and I sat there when the bill came, and finally I just said, the guy should pay first, and kind of pushed it towards him, and he said, well, in that case, you should pay. And I just thought, that is so rude. And I just don't understand what the issue is. I feel like everyone's trying to get something for free these days. I don't understand. I just want to go on a date and have the man be a gentleman and treat me right, treat me like a woman.
Anyone still calling this satire? Isn't this our most delusional wokey who claim to only be interested in women?
Ich bin Feder. Ich bin eigentlich 17 Jahre alt, aber ich bin auch nebenbei ein Fuchs. Und in dem bin ich momentan 4 Monate alt.
Ich bin Zoll, ich bin 19 Jahre alt und meine Pronomen sind they, she.
So, ich bin Milo, ich gehe mit allen Pronomen und ich bin 13 Jahre alt.
Ja, ich bin da Felix, das Alpha von einem Rudel und bin 1,5 Jahre Papi.
Ich habe 5 Namen. Ich benutze Gabriel, Luca, Bug, Mats und Fall.
Ich bin Sydney.
Somebody take these kids' phones away and have them go fishing for a while. They need to go outside and breathe in air.
Even if you don't have an hourglass plus figure, you can still show off your torso. So wear those crop tops and mini skirts and show off your belly piercing, because showing that you have the confidence and that you don't give a F of what people think of you is still channeling that bubblegum bitch energy.
Bubblegum what? YouTube has guidelines, so let's just move on to the next embarrassing member of Alphabet Crew.
This is my voice one day on T.
And this is my voice 5 months on T. Not singing too much Sia lately, if you know what I'm saying.
Raise your hand if you noticed any difference. Ma'am, please go make yourself some coffee. The tea isn't doing anything for you.
How are you gonna assume that I'm gay just because I have rainbow hair, wearing a rainbow shirt, and I got a rainbow pride flag behind?
How can you assume that I'm disabled just because I have a messed up body with messed up hands and I drive a mobility scooter because I can't walk?
Couldn't have said it better.
How old are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
Whose grandmother is this? Tattoos are permanent, but
This
changing
lady
the entire
is
setup and flow of your body is not. You'd think that after spending so many decades alive, you'd have picked up some wisdom. Guess not. Okay, that's the end of this video.
All right, guys. I have been up for almost 3 hours. Thank you for popping in, everybody that did, and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow at 8. I get on the computer at 7:45, and I'll have it set up. And we'll do this madness all over again. I also will have a panel tomorrow. Lord of Hunger will be popping in at 8. Hoping. All right, guys. I love you. Goodbye.